here we are. We are live for SNR tonight. Okay, so I just have to do my customary thing where I have to check that everything's working, everything's live streaming. I hope it is. There's always that awkward moment when you try and find it. There we go. Live coverage, excellent. And am I coming through on the stream? Again, I hope so. Yes, I am. Excellent. Right then. Hello everybody, welcome to SNR, round number 15, which takes us to Malaysia for, well, the Malaysian Grand Prix. So, let's go into some of the driver standings then, or in fact, let's go into the driver standings. So, at the top of the table, we have... at the top of the table we have AJ at the top of the table with 245. Darren Sinclair is in second on 218. The Gort is in third on 166. Bravo is in fourth on 81. Rockatoni is fifth on 78. Geordie Davies sixth on 76. Chelsea Boy in seventh on 72. Heem Carl is in eighth on 69. Spark Bobster in ninth on 58. DK is in 10th on 51. Zippo in 11th on 38. Pranker is in 12th on 32. Plaster in 13th on 26. Rocket is in 14th on 18. Orchard David in 15th with 12 points. Captain Pants is 16th on 6 points. Malachi in 17th on 3 points. White Samba in 18th on 2 points. Ricky Fury in 19th with 1 point. And Toompata yet to score this season. Moving on to the constructors, McLaren are at the top on 317, Ferrari are second on 274, Red Bull are third on 218, Toro Rosso are fourth on 120, Sauber in fifth on 112, Renault in sixth on 109, Williams are in seventh on 102, Force India in 8th on 97 points, Mercedes in 9th on 56, and Haas are at the bottom of the table on 2 points. So let's talk about Malaysia then. It is 15 turns and could be on the calendar one of the last times we visit Malaysia at SNR. And the reason is because, well, it won't be in the next game, of course. But we do have 15 turns and it is, well, downforce heavy this circuit, and tyre wear can be a little extreme. The weather always takes a turn for the worst, and when it rains at Malaysia, it normally does pour. You got two DRS zones, one along the main straight and then another along the back straight between turns 14 and 15. In terms of overtaking zones, well, turns 1 and 2 prove to be very crucial there. Your exit into turn 1 doesn't matter too much as long as you get the entry into turn 2 absolutely spot on. You need to watch for cars around there. Heading into turn 4, it goes uphill and then to the right, so if you're trying to go up the inside, you've got to be careful not to lock up as you head through there. And then you go through the fast turn 5 and turn 6, heading around turn 7 and 8 up to the next real overtaking opportunity, which is into turn 9. And as the track goes uphill there, you can have a worry with the traction as you head out of there, especially going through turn 10. Very easy to light up the rear tyres. And then through 11, 12, 13 and 14, not really an overtaking zone here, but going into turn 14, you're having to try and brake and steer at the same time, resulting in a little bit of trail braking, which can cause you to easily lock up going into turn 14. The last real braking zone and overtaking zone on the track is turn 15. Of course, that sort of hairpin. It's wide enough to be something else, but it's definitely a hairpin. Is the last real overtaking opportunity, but most drivers use turn 15 as an opportunity to set themselves up down the straight as we head down then again towards turn 1. So, as in race build-up, I don't have a lot more to say other than we saw Darren Sinclair last time out pretty much coast home last time out. But of course, that was because Darren Sinclair wasn't there last time around. He is 27 points behind in the championship, and I'm just having a look to see if he's here so far. We haven't got all the drivers here at the moment, so we'll wait for everybody to join in. Currently 14 drivers in the lobby so far. Evening, Steph, how are you doing? Going to cheer on Plaster for tonight. That's excellent to see. We have another Orchard as well. Orchard Socks, apparently. That's a new one. But there we go. So, yeah. it should be a good race. Malaysia often does throw up some great races, and like I said, for SNR, it could be the last time we go and see them racing around here, unless of course we do another season fitting in. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'm sure the guys there will find it out. Oh, and of course Steph the Gore, yeah, cheering him on as well. Steph, I'm pretty fine, thank you very much. Just on my own tonight, no JB, so I'm going to have to bore you all with my voice instead. Back to the good old days when I say the good old days, but I'd like to think I've got a little bit better since the good old days at this whole commentary thing. But yeah, we should be getting underway in around about 3 minutes time. Of course, we've got a full qualifying session to go on to. That's okay, Steph. I don't need any help. I'll be absolutely fine. I'll just bore you instead. You can sit back, relax, and enjoy this absolutely fantastic race. I know it's going to be. So, in terms of Darren Sinclair, I don't seem to see him at the moment. There is Chelsea Boy. Of course, he was Season 1 contender. He's had a little bit of a quiet season so far, and I guarantee you he won't want me to point this out. The man is in 7th place in the championship, which is unfortunate for him, but yeah, drivers go through rough patches, they go through rough seasons, and maybe this is just one that Chelsea Boy just wants to get over and done with. But since AJ's turned up, he's been forefronting McLaren, the top McLaren driver at the moment. Of course, McLaren do lead the way in the constructors. They're 43 points ahead of Ferrari. And what's interesting to see is that Darren Sinclair and the Gore, both in Ferrari of course, have spearheaded Ferrari to 2nd place. Very consistent between the two of them. We'll have a look at race wins. Darren Sinclair has 8 wins this season. He's had 1 2nd place, and every other race he has not scored in. So that tells you a lot there. In fact, the Gort for Ferrari I believe he used a transfer token. I think that's how it worked. Ah, yes, he did use a transfer token. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. So the Gort hasn't always been at Ferrari. I mean, my memory is terrible, but that would make a lot more sense then. Nevertheless, though, we are looking at a fantastic race. I know that. I never bore you, Steph. Oh, that's all right then. Excellent stuff to see. And I'm glad people are turning out to see these magnificent drivers race tonight instead of watching the Champions League. Well, now that I've said that, I wish I hadn't, but there we go. Who wants to watch Real Madrid trounce Liverpool when you can watch a field of 16 drivers go head-to-head in equal cars? I mean, I know which one I would pick. And I thank you for joining me tonight. This should be a good one. 17 drivers in the lobby now, I should say. And it's Ricky Fury has joined us. It's always good to see... Come on, Liverpool, says Steph. Yeah, well, it'd be nice if an England team won it. Anyway, we shall see what happens very shortly as full qualifying will get underway very, very shortly. And of course, if you have any questions, want to have a chat with me during qualifying, more than happy to do so. During the race, though, chances are your question might not be answered, but there we go. We shall see how it all goes. So we have, the time is 7:45. And hopefully any moment now we shall be readying up. I'm guessing then there's one more person yet to come to the lobby. That's why we're not readying up just yet. But there we go. So we shall see. We shall see. So if you watched last week's SNR stream, you'll have noticed that my internet wasn't the greatest. I think it's a little bit better now. I did do some league racing last night and the connection was okay, but now it's got to the point now where I can't test it. So we're just going with it. We're just going with it. If I disconnect, well, that's it then, isn't it? Yeah, we're all readying up now. So it looks like we've got everyone here. All 17 drivers are present and ready. And yeah, it looks like then because of course there's no Malaysia in the next game, it's highly likely that this is the last time SNR races around Malaysia. So it's going to be a little bit of a somber mood, I think. But when we get to the qualifying session, we'll see who can come out on top. Of course, AJ being at the top there, and still doesn't look like any Darren Sinclair tonight. So that is interesting to see then. AJ could extend his lead at the top of the table to 52 points if he wins today, and well, coming into the latter stage of the season with 5 races to go, to have a lead of 2 wins under your belt really will help AJ towards the end of the season. But as we're heading through now, we will have all of the qualifying live and hopefully uninterrupted for today, or for tonight I should say. So we have the real Formula 1 going on as well this weekend at Monaco. Daniel Ricciardo smashing a 70-second lap around Monaco. That is utterly unbelievable. Smashed that track lap record, didn't he? I thought that might have happened, considering the practice pace, and Verstappen starting from the very back, Ricciardo from the very front. It looks a bit likely that Verstappen's going to be aggressive. He's already said that he's going to be very aggressive coming into Monaco, and aggressive and Monaco I don't think mixes too well, but we shall see. That's a topic for another day, more specifically tomorrow. But there we go. So 17 drivers then ready and waiting for qualifying 1 to get underway. Now we have 17 drivers in the lobby, so that means that 2 drivers will be eliminated from the first qualifying session. And look at that then, Sun at the Sepang circuit. Looking forward to this. Should be a good one. We'll see now whether AJ can keep his run going, and if he can grab pole position once again today. So, a little bit of a quiet garage at the moment as we wait for some cars to emerge onto the track. Hopefully they will do very shortly. And yep, you can see an engineer just in the distance over there, getting the car onto the track. That's a Williams, it looks like, heading out onto the circuit. Again, white clouds with a white cursor over the names to try and switch to people. Not a good idea, Codemasters. I really cannot see a thing. But it is Toon Patter who is first out onto circuit then, in car number 88, heading around the first few corners. Of course, the first Malaysian Grand Prix was back in 1999, and a lot of races have really stayed in the memory of drivers and fans alike, including the rain-sodden race, I believe it was 2001, where the heavens just opened and the drivers on the first lap, just so many of them were being caught out, including Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello. So that was a huge moment in that championship. In the end, it didn't mean a lot, because obviously Ferrari, with their dominant ways, managed to win the 2001 season, and Schumacher at the time gaining his 4th World Championship. But here we are then with Toon Patter as he rounds, I believe that is turn 12? Is that turn 12? Yes, it is. Now, oh, it was turn 11, my apologies. Racing through into turn 13, into turn 14. Again, this is a very difficult braking zone, and Malachi has joined the session. So Malachi, because he missed that cut-off point, he will be starting from the back of the grid then. So, Toon Patter then, rounding turn 15, the final corner. And the DRS wide open. That's a terrible camera angle. Let's have another one. As we fly down the straight now with the Williams man. Heading now down towards turn 1. And we'll see now what sort of lap he'll be able to do coming around now. Toon Patter into turn 1, coming through turn 2, and as you can see, it's I can't tell if it's dusk or dawn. I'm going to go with dusk because there's a little bit of an orange tinge in the air, and you can see there Toonpatter is on a controller. Obviously, the controller is a lot more vague in its input, as Toonpatter runs a little bit wide, and round he goes into the wall, and that's a bit of front wing off as well, and he won't be best pleased with that at all there. But let's have a look and see who that is behind. That is Geordie Davey, so we're going to jump on board with him, the Red Bull driver, making his way through that high-speed chicane there. That it's when you go to the Chinese Grand Prix, it's very similar, but just remember that Malaysia did it first. I always found those two tracks to be very similar. They do have a lot of high-speed corners, a couple of hairpins as well. Both those tracks are very similar, and where they were back to back, it just felt like you were going to the same track. But anyway, now that they put it at the end of the calendar, I think that was a good decision in the end, because it avoided all the monsoon weather that happened. So Geordie Davey then rounding turn 14, and we have yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. I'm assuming that's drivers just trying to get out of each other's ways as they're on a flying lap. So Geordie Davey then heading towards the hairpin, the final corner. Important to get this braking zone right. And heading around the final corner now, heading towards the line. Geordie Davey will lay down the marker, and he will set a 132.8. The Renault behind him though, Spark Bobster, 133.7. That's a Toro Rosso in the background, and we'll see who that is. Rockatoni 133.7. Plaster coming across the line, and didn't set a lap time there. That's a bit strange, but DK there 134.1. Counterpants there 135.0. The Ferrari in the background there of the Gort starts a new lap. Zippo here 134.4. Recently got a new steering wheel this week, a Thrustmaster T150. Still trying to get to grips with it, but he's on his way there. Chelsea Boy there going second, a 133.1. As we shall see Orchard David here heading towards the final corner, and we shall see what lap time he can set down. Finally got a race finish last time around, and he's hoping to use that momentum to carry him forward there. 143.1. Must have made a mistake on the lap, as must have Heemkarl as well. 148.8. I'm pretty sure that's not representative. Championship leader though, AJ on his outlap, as is Rocket Queen, and Ricky Fury is on a flying lap. And Ricky Fury has scored a point so far this season, has struggled at times, but let's see what Malaysia will do for him, as he runs a little bit wide coming through turn 7 there. And that's another Toro Rosso off the track. Is that Rockatoni? It was indeed Rockatoni, so maybe he just went a little bit wide there, not quite getting the lap time he wanted. But Geordie David then currently setting the pace at 132.8 as he heads back to the pits. AJ then coming towards turn 14. That's not turn 14 at all. Wow. You know what, I'm not even going to try and recover from that one. Coming up now towards turn 5, then through turn 6. And you can see in that McLaren there, oh, that's a car off track. That is a Mercedes there. And that must have been... No, not entirely sure who that was, but there we are. Anyway, AJ out there. Toonpatter is on an outlap. Rocket Queen then heading towards... it was Rocket Queen in the gravel there. Taking number 13, of course, used to be Pastor Maldonado's number. Unlucky for some, but Orchard David there setting a 133.6 as he rounds the first 2 corners then, and should be on his way back to the pits. Now Orchard Sox, on the other hand, is heading down the main straight on to start another lap, or at least his flying lap anyway. Let's have a look at AJ then. Comes towards the line. It's a 132.5, and he sets the fastest lap of the session so far. Orchard Sox out there, as is Rocket Queen, but Rocket Queen decides to come back to the pits there. And he'll want to try again for sure. Orchard Sox then flying through this left and right hander here. It's a joy to see drivers just throw the car in there. And we'll have a look now and see as he flies through turn 8 now. That is a car getting right out of the way there at Orchard Sox. Now heading around turn 9 through turn 10. Again, a real traction zone there that you've got to be really confident there in the car. Heading through turn 12. And then, oh, that's his back end gone. Oh, Orchard Sox is out of qualifying. And he lost the back end there on turn 12. And Orchard Sox retires from the first session. Now he's currently in P15. But he will be taking no further part in qualifying, that's for sure. We've got Heimkarl has retired from the session, but he retired from the menu, so if he does make it into Q2, he will be able to participate. Orchard Sox, though, will not. Geordie Davey retires from the session as well. We have the Gort out on track at the moment, heading through the yellow flag zones. Of course, in Formula 1 nowadays, that's White Samba getting right out of the way there. Of course, in modern Formula 1, if you pass through a yellow flag, you have to back out, but in the game, not so. You can just carry on, full throttle, on with your lap. So let's see what the Gort can do then, heading towards turn 15 and the final corner. And he rounds that hairpin, coming towards the line now. And what sort of lap time can the Gort set? It's a 1:33.7, so it is slower than his original lap time there. Let's have a look at currently fitted tyres. Only 2 people on a set of soft tyres at the moment. And there we go with the Gort then. Heimkarl apparently changed onto a set of soft tyres even though he was retired, but there we go. That's an interesting one. Anyway, Captain Pants lapping out there. Toonpatter as well. Ricky Fury has set a 1:35.6, but he's currently 1.1 up on his previous time. So this will put him up the table a little bit if he can nail this lap time now, coming towards the start-finish line. And Ricky Fury, 1:34.9, but it was invalidated. That's why he didn't go further up the table then. So Ricky Fury will have to go again. And the 2 drivers in the danger zone at the moment, White Samba and Rocket Queen, who are both yet to set a lap time. The Gort out on track then. And he is now heading through turn 14. Up towards turn 15 now. Just got to get off that curb a little bit. Costs a little bit of speed as you exit there. Now heading towards turn 15 and the final corner. And we'll see now the Gort heading towards the line. A little bit of a flick of the tail there as the Gort heads towards the line, and it is a 1:33.2. He improves but stays in P4. Toonpatter out there as well, currently 7.8 down on his time, so he must be setting himself up for a lap then. Ricky Fury, oh, just on the hairpin there. Well, losing that back end, which again is very easy to do if you carry too much speed into that corner. And we shall see who else is out there. We have yellow. Oh, that's Captain Pants who spun it around. And that, I believe, yeah, that's turn 13. So did he do the same thing as Orchard Sox? But he got away with it for sure. And there goes the back end again. That's what happens when you have dirty tyres there. And try and rejoin too aggressively there. So Captain Pants currently in 12th place at the moment, qualifying on a set of soft tyres, as he makes his way back to the pit lane. At least I think he'll make his way back to the pit lane as well. Steph in the chat saying that he thinks that a soft to medium is a good strategy for a 1-stop, but starting on the super softs could lead to a 2 stops, and it's very risky to try and make it to the end. That is correct. It is very risky, but it is doable, which is the strange thing about it. If you can try and nurse your tyres to that 70% mark and enter that puncture territory and have a bit of luck on your side as well, you'll find that you'll be able to get those super soft tyres to the very end, especially if you're on a wheel as well. The wheel in itself gives you that little bit more precision and therefore less tyre wear. As Plaster's out there as well, he's on a flying lap. White Samba on an out lap. Rocket Queen on a flying lap right now on a set of soft tyres. And we'll see now what he can do. Under a little bit of pressure at the moment, of course, but he'll be hoping that he can get out of that drop zone. White Samba's not very far behind him either, so that should make for an interesting interesting mood here if White Samba catches Rocket Queen. I don't think that's going to be very likely, but you never know if Rocket Queen runs a little bit wide or anything like that. Doesn't look like that's going to happen though. Rocket Queen making his way through turn 11 there, and then through 12 and 13, coming up to turn 14 here. How does Rocket Queen approach it? Cautiously, but hits the apex there, and now heading into the DRS zone, heading down that back straight. And what sort of lap time can Rocket Queen set down? And if he does set it down, then only one car lap in the field right now will be out of qualifying. Here comes Rocket Queen across the line, 136.4, out of the danger zone for now. But White Samba now heading towards the line. What lap time can he set? He sets a 139.0. So maybe they're banker laps, but at the moment White Samba is dropping out of Q1, so he needs to find more time. Plaster out on track at the moment, heading towards turn... Yeah, it caught me off again. I still thought that was turn 12 or wherever I said last time. But we're now coming towards turn 9. And thing about this corner, you've got to hit that curb there, but watch the traction on the exit as you head through turn 10. Plaster, they're 4/10 up at the moment, heading through turn 11. And again, watch that left-hand side there. You've got the bit of grass and gravel there that can really catch you out if you're not careful then. Heading now down towards turn 14 as the track dips away from you and then goes uphill for a little bit as well, which can really throw the car off balance as we now head down towards the hairpin now. In the final corner, always a great camera angle this one. I am a sucker for this one. As the clouds start to loom, I wonder if rain is on the way. Plaster then heading towards the line now. What lap time can he set? He sets a 133.6 and puts himself into P5. Rocket there now heading towards the line. Can he improve on his time so far? Yes, he can. 135.0 puts him up into P11. White Samba now heading towards the line. Can he improve on his time and put Ricky Fury under pressure? Yes, he can. White Samba then 135.1. So at the moment then, Ricky Fury is in that danger zone. And he needs to find at least 3/10 to put Toon Pata under a little bit of pressure. But looks like White Samba there will be retiring from this session because he won't have enough time to make it back to the pits and put on a set of new tyres. Absolutely, Steph. I am absolutely losing my corners, but well, I'd rather that than losing my marbles, in all honesty. Toon Pata then rejoining the circuit then. He's left it very late, but the track has been rubbering in, so maybe he'll have a good lap and a good track to work with. He's going to cut it very fine, of course, but that's what you need to do in qualifying, to try and get the best track possible then. Rocket then heading back to the pit lane then. He can consider himself safe for now. Captain Pants has run out of fuel, I believe that is. So he's gone into low fuel mode. So that will be his session for now. But we'll have to see. White Samba also slowly coming back to the pit lane. He's out of fuel as well. Chelsea Boy's also out on circuit, setting a lap time. And we'll see if he can get into the 132s. He'll know he'll want to try and get himself higher than 7th in the championship. And he wants that too. DK retiring from the session. I assume this is in the garage. Yes, it is. And we'll see now. Again, on that white screen there. We have around about 40 seconds to go then. So Ricky Fury is under pressure at the moment. He needs this lap to be a good one. to avoid being eliminated in Q1. Heading up towards turn 4, and that's a little bit of rain I saw there. Looks like we might have rain in Q2 for the second week running. Rocket Queen retires from the session, as Zippo does the same. So they all think they're safe, or at least they think they can't do anything else for at the moment. So Ricky Fury then, we'll have a look here as the rain starts to fall. So maybe Ricky Fury has timed this absolutely perfectly then, trying to turn in now, losing that back end very slightly then. As he said, a 24.3, but the delta's gone, so I have no idea what that means then. So he now heads out of turn 11, flying through turns 12 and 13. Should still be flat. The track won't be damp just yet, but it will be getting wetter. Maybe during the break we have here between Q1 and Q2. But Ricky Fury then heading towards the line. Toon Pata and White Samba here could be under a little bit of threat here, as that is Williams getting out of the way there. But here comes White Samba then heading towards the line. Oh, sorry, Ricky Fury heading towards the line. Can he get himself out of the drop zone? No, he can't. He's 2 tenths down, and Ricky Fury there has been eliminated from Q1. Toon Pata then, by the skin of his teeth, makes it into Q2. And as the rain starts to fall heavier and heavier, I think there's a little bit of grip out there lost already, I think that is. But, well, Q1 is effectively over. And we have lost Orchard Socks in that big crash coming through turn 12. And Ricky Fury's also been eliminated from Q1. So then I wonder now if Toon Pata is going to try and finish this lap. And is he going to try and finish the lap, I wonder? Trying to head around. No, you can see here, look, the spray's already coming up there. So Toon Pata abandons the lap then. And, yep, that's his lap done. Then he is into Q2 then. So, AJ tops the table with a 132.0. As I did want to say that before, but anyway. So we have about a minute to go then. So White Samba and Toon Pata just need to retire from the session for the menu to skip this minute phase. But if they don't, it's no real trouble. But yes, AJ topping the table at the moment, 132.0. But are we going to have a rain-affected Q2? And if that's the case, if it's a dry race, then we are going to have free range of tyres. So that's all going to be very, very interesting as we head towards Q2. But once again, drivers we've lost in this session are Orchard Socks and this man Ricky Fury. But you can see as Ricky Fury's AI is just lapping the circuit, you can see how little grip there is actually out there. Heavy rain. Maybe, Steph. I think you'll be Inters for now, but you're right. 2001, 2009, just monsoon pretty much. You're absolutely right. And this is a track where Sergio Perez managed to get a podium. Could have had a win there, but he made a mistake going into turn 14. But as we head into Q2 now, we will go through the leaderboard just very quickly. We've got about 30 seconds to do it. But as you can see there, Zippo, Rocket Queen, Himkar, Captain Pants all setting their times on soft tyres. So maybe they're sandbagging themselves a little bit. But once again, we have lost Ricky Fury and Orchard Socks from Q1. Let's have a look at the race. No incidents. Just a couple of invalidated lap times. 2 from Chelsea Boy there. He was really pushing the track there. But we're going to head now towards Q2. And we'll have to wait and see whether the rain clears up or whether the rain keeps falling. I wonder, as my voice starts to give out there, I wonder how this is going to go down. So the track is, yeah, it looks like here. Let's have a look at the currently fitted tyres. So Super Softs fitted for everyone so far. Are we going to see people try and go for the intermediate tyres? Now, if they set a lap on intermediate tyres, of course, they get free range of tyres during the race. But like Chelsea Boy is sort of thinking here, if you can get a lap in on the soft tyres in these conditions and you make it into Q3, well, you get to start on those tyres. Alternatively, you can try a lap on intermediates and you can choose which tyre you start on for the race. I'm thinking, like Steph said earlier on, soft to medium, a one stop, will definitely get you to the end of the race. So maybe this is what some of the drivers are thinking then. Geordie Davey is the first man out on track, and we'll see on board from him how treacherous these conditions are around this track. As yeah, you can see already the back end wanting to step out, and Geordie Davey here maybe hoping that he can get a lap in before the rain starts to really affect the track a lot here. And who else is on an outlap at the moment? Captain Pants is out there. Plaster also going for a set of super soft tyres. Chelsea Boy, as we mentioned, on the soft tyre. Rocket Tony and Rocket Queen all out on dry tyres. As Rocket Queen, you can see there, losing the back end now on the exit of turn 4. And that is how treacherous it is out there at the moment. We'll see here Geordie Davey heading into turn 9. And we'll see him come through turn 10 and making his way, tiptoeing his way around, I should say. This kind of reminds me of Q2 in the in last week's race at Singapore. It was kind of like this. I'm just getting deja vu at the moment, but Geordie Davey making his way around the penultimate corner along the straight. DRS is still online, so the stewards think it's safe enough to use the DRS still. So that is interesting. Once that DRS is disabled, that pretty much tells you it's the crossover point, and you need to put on a set of intermediate tyres. I don't know why it's so keen on that camera angle. You can't really see anything with that camera angle, but nevertheless then, Geordie Davey is making his way on to his flying lap now, and we will lose another 5 drivers from this session, of course, as we have yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. You can see how treacherous it is. Heading out of turn 2 through turn 3, and you can see here Geordie just taking it easy for now. He doesn't want to bin it in this qualifying 2 session. But we'll see here as he gets a little bit on the grass there. Now, will he fly through or will he lift off? He definitely lifts off there, that's for sure. And you know what? To be honest with you, I don't blame him whatsoever for doing that. Heading now through turns 7 and 8. You normally drop down to 5th, and you can see they're dropping to 4th there to try and get that little bit of turn in there from the car. It's always going to be treacherous, these conditions. We head now towards turn 9, and Geordie Davey here, I know he's pushing as hard as he can, losing that back end, getting a bit sideways there. We head through turn 11 and again getting sideways. Incredible lap to watch at the moment as we head through turns 12 and then through 13. Now this is the difficult part. Turn 14, the braking zone here, very, very easy to lock up in the dry, let alone on a wet track with dry tyres. Now Geordie Davey then heading towards the start finish line then. We had a 1:32.0 which was AJ's best lap time on a set of super soft tyres. What can Geordie Davey do? You can see there it's going to be a lot slower, but that's because of the conditions. Geordie Davey then heading towards the line, and what lap time can he set? It's a 1:44.8 he sets down there, and we'll have a look at Chelsea Boy coming towards the line. DRS still online, and Chelsea Boy here sets a 1:44.1. Good lap time from him. Plaster out there as well, as several cars make their way back to the pits. Rocket Queen has stayed out. He'll come towards the line now. And what lap time will he set then as he crosses the line? He sets a 1:47.2. Plaster behind him will set a 1:45.5. So maybe there might be... Oh, that's Captain Pants has gone off there. As you can see there, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. Well, it was only a short shower then. Well, okay, so rain has stopped. Interesting. Well, maybe the guys in the pit lane thought they'd take their chances with the track drying out. Of course, I don't really have that telemetry here. I'm completely blind in terms of weather, and we see the camera angle here as Captain Pants makes his way through. And this is when drivers are now going to try and start to go out onto the circuit, surely, as the Captain Pants flies through now. We'll have to wait and see what happens, whether the track will dry out. Now, in the Malaysian heat, you'll think that the tyres will get up to speed, the track will dry out quite quickly, and already you can see how little spray there is at the moment. And we'll have to see now what these guys can do. Already you can see now how quickly the track has actually dried up here. Chelsea Boy then is going to be making his way towards the final corner, and yet the track has definitely dried up so much more. But Chelsea Boy returns to the pit lane. Plaster then, as I saw, was 3 seconds up on his previous time. Rocket Queen then will head towards the line, and will he go quicker? Yes, he will. 140.1. So the track has definitely got much quicker. Plaster there goes top with a 139.6. So then, the track is pretty much dry at this point, maybe wet in places, especially around turn 1 and 2 there. But the more cars get out there now, the drier it's going to get. So only 4 drivers have set a lap time so far as Captain Pants heads up towards turn 4. We've got Spark Bobster coming on towards a flying lap now. And we will see very shortly what he can do now. Heads towards turn 1. And then through turn 2. Turn 2 dips away from you as you turn in. Always very easy to lock up, especially through there as well, as the track dips away from you. As we can see now, heading towards turn 4. Dropping a gear there. We've got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. Not quite sure who it was, but Toon Patter's on an outlap here. And these guys now, Plaster and Rocket Queen, have gone straight back out on a set of super soft tyres. So they know now that these conditions are improving, and improving quickly. You can see here Spark Bobster out as well. His teammate DK out to try and set a lap time in ever improving conditions. And we'll have to wait and see what these guys can do. AJ, interestingly, is still in the pit, so he's waiting then for the track to dry out. Captain Pants set to 139.1, but the lap time does not count. We'll see now White Samba on an outlap at the moment. He'll head towards turn 15 to set another, or set a flying lap. Spark Bobster 133.8, and if that's any indication that the track is dry, well, that's it now. That's all you need. We've got a Mercedes there of I believe that's Zippo there, starting a flying lap on a set of super soft tyres. DK runs a little wide there, coming through turn 7 there, I believe that is. And just on the exit of turn 8, he didn't quite get it. As we see here, Toon Patter heading towards the line then. As we've got a car there off, heading towards the line. Toon Patter 136.5, puts himself second for now. And Plaster here. Oh, Plaster, what's happened to Plaster? Did he miss the pit box? Well, whatever's happened, Plaster has retired from the session, and that could come back to bite him, because he set that on a track that was transitioning to a dry track. I think he missed the pit lane there, so that could come back to bite him here. Meanwhile, though, we have the Gort on a flying lap now. DK coming towards the line, and across the line he goes second, 135.2, and this could be the real risk for Plaster here, with drivers setting faster laps on harder tyres. Captain Pants, again, his lap time gets invalidated. Zippo coming out of turn 14, heading towards turn 15. White Samba doing exactly the same. The Gort also on a flying lap on the exit of turn 4 right now. AJ still in the pits there. He's just waiting for one run. That's all he needs, I assume. We've got Chelsea Boy, who is on an outlap right now. We have Zippo 133.9 setting there, and White Samba 135.7, and that puts them in a good position right now. Of course, it's going to be hectic, a little bit more hectic. Orchard David on an out lap, the Gort on a flying lap, as AJ puts on a set of soft tyres here, and this could be him coming out to set a flying lap. As Captain Pants here, heading around now, coming towards turn 11. And we'll see now, Gort heading towards the hairpin now. Orchard David starting a flying lap. The Gort now coming out of turn 15 towards the line. And what sort of lap time can he set? It's a 136.9. It puts him into P7. Orchard David out there, Captain Pants as well, currently out on track. And is he going to set a lap time that doesn't get invalidated, I wonder? Towards the line he goes, and he does, 138.9, which puts him up into P8. Orchard David out there right now, as is White Samba. DK out there as well. Geordie Davey also on a flying lap. Is AJ? Yes, AJ is out on track, so he's left it late. But as has Heemcar, Rocker Tony is also coming towards the line now to start a lap, and we'll see how he'll get on in this high pressure situation. For some drivers, they've only had one chance here. Oh, the Gort's in the wall there. What? It must have lost the back end there on the exit of turn 9, and the Gort has hit the wall. Now, will he have enough time to go back to the pits and put on a set of new tyres? Of course, you don't get that repair time in online lobbies, so you can just go in, change some tyres, and be on your way again. But does he have enough time? I don't think he does. It's going to take him at least 30 seconds to get back to the pits with his front wing in this state. So, well, that could be a telling sign for the Gort then. So we've got Heemcar now starting a flying lap. Rocker Tony on a flying lap as well as he flies through turn 8 now. We've got Invader Zippo, who has set a 133.6. We also have AJ, who was on an out lap. Here he comes in out of the final corner. Rocker Tony, meanwhile, is on a flying lap right now, heading through 12 and 13. Now braking towards turn 14. And you can see they're currently fitted. Let's have a look at the best lap times. Chelsea Boy, 132.3 for Chelsea Boy as he makes his way towards the line. And AJ here starts his flying lap on a set of soft tyres. Rocker Tony coming around turn 15, heading towards the line. Terrible camera angle as we head towards the line then. Rocker Tony tops the table, 132.2 from Rocker Tony there. And we'll have a look at Orchard David here, who has retired on track, as has Rocker Tony. Rocker Tony believes that's all he can do, or only had enough fuel for that run. AJ then heading through turn 5 and 6. We'll be able to see what sort of lap time he can put down. Rocket Queen then sets a 135.2, which puts him up into P7. And you can see here drivers in the danger zone: Toon Patter, the Gort, Captain Pants, Plaster and AJ at the moment. But DK is in the pits as well. I think should be safe, DK. It's White Samba that's under threat then. If AJ sets a faster lap time, White Samba could be in trouble here. He might not make it into Q3 then. AJ coming around the final corner. We'll have a look and see what other cars are out there. Chelsea Boy is out on a flying lap as well. Chelsea Boy retires because I think he realises he's safe. Spark Bobster on a flying lap. Rocket on a flying lap as well. We'll have a look with AJ then as he comes around turn 15. Heading towards the line now with the sun in his eyes. AJ sets a 132.3 and that pushes White Samba into the dropout zone. So it looks like then the drivers we have lost as the checkered flag falls is White Samba, Toon Patter, the Gort, Captain Pants and Plaster. They are all out of qualifying. Let's have a look at Spark Bobster and Rocket Queen then. Rocket looks like he's wanting to set faster time on a fresher set of tyres. Spark Bobster obviously thinking the same thing. They are the last two people out on track, and Rocket Queen making his way around the final hairpin, heading towards the line now. And he will set a 133.8, which actually didn't move him up the table at all. But he's on a fresher set of tyres, he'll be able to start on those tyres as well. Spark Bobster here is currently on a set of super soft tyres, but decides to retire from the session, and he will be able to start on the soft tyres as well. So that is qualifying 2 over and done with. And like I said, the drivers we've lost, White Samba, Toon Pata, the Gork, Captain Pants and Plaster, all eliminated from qualifying. So it's a bit of a mixed bag now. AJ, Geordie Davey, Orchard David, Spark Bobster and DK will all be starting on the soft tyres, whereas Rocket Tony, Chelsea Boy, Heem Carl, Zippo and Rocket Queen all on the super soft tyres. It's going to throw this as a very interesting race, and just quickly looking at the race director, there you can see just Captain Pants exceeding track limits there and invalidating the lap time is the only penalty now. So now we're going to head towards Q3 and the final knockout session, the shootout now for pole position. Nothing matters now. You'll probably never see these tyres again after Q3. So we have 10 drivers in the in this. Obviously, we have it in Q3 because that's how the rules work here, and stay with it. Last time out I said, oh, this was the first time we had actually 10 drivers in this session, and that's prompted someone to crash out, so I'm not going to say that this time. So hoping now that we get 10 drivers fighting out for pole position. And we have drivers heading out there, and the 2 Red Bulls come out pretty much at the same time there. So Chelsea Boy making his way out onto the circuit. Now, are they all making their way out to the circuit because they know something here? It's not often you see a huge cluster like this making their way out onto the track here. It's not everyone out onto track, but it is 7 of them out onto track. 8 of them, in fact. So AJ has stayed behind, as has Rocket Queen. Everyone else, though, is out onto circuit, all on a set of super soft tyres. So chances are, then, you won't see these tyres ever again. So it's well worth just giving them well, a thrashing just to try and get that fastest lap time. So then, as those dark clouds loom, they really do, there could be more rain on the way, you never know, and maybe that's why there's 8 cars out on track just trying to get out there as quickly as possible. But they've got to find that compromise between warming up the tyres and brakes, getting the car up to the best condition it can be to set a lap time, as well as that they've got to be careful not to wear those parts as well. Tyre wear becomes a big issue when you're trying to warm them up, especially if you run wide, use too many curbs, all that stuff. So Orchard David then, looks like, is he going to be the first person to set a lap time? No, it's going to be Spark Bobster. If things go his way, he'll be the first person to set a lap time in qualifying 3 then, heading around the final corner and heading towards the line. And we'll see now what he can do to get himself up there now. Heading now down towards turn 1, braking hard for that first corner. And this is where we could see lap times go into the 131s. We haven't seen that all qualifying, but this is when people really start to go for it now, as Spark Bobster here make his way uphill towards turn 4 and uphill again on the apex there. Watch that back end, that's exactly what can happen. That costs you time, as Spark Bobster there. And the rain is starting to fall again. Oh, Spark Bobster's lost it, into the wall he goes, out he goes. Spark Bobster has retired from the session in dramatic fashion. Wow. That rain just fell out of nowhere. Well then, AJ here could be in a little bit of trouble. He's only on his out lap. Everybody else here is on a flying lap. Chelsea Boy is definitely on a flying lap here. DK as well. Oh, DK's lost the back end. Yeah, it's... DK has backed out of it massively. You can see drivers really struggling out here right now. And this could be a disaster for AJ then. He left it very late. And Chelsea Boy here is just trying to battle the elements now. Everyone in front of him has gone off, lost the back end. But Chelsea boy trying to keep his cool at the moment. Heading out of turn 14. Turn 14. Now coming towards turn 15 now. And towards the hairpin. Round he goes. Now what sort of lap time will he be setting? Orchard David 136.0. What about Chelsea boy? What can he do in these treacherous conditions? It's a 137.4. Geordie Davies, he heads towards the line. What can he do? It's a 139.1. Heemkarl there losing that back end once again, heading towards the line. It's a 141.0. I'm seeing a pattern here. And DK's come in. Invader Zippo now trying to head towards the line. And what sort of lap time can he set? There seems to be a huge pattern here. This is how much the rain has affected this session. Rockatoni is off in the gravel. That is coming out onto turn 14. Or sorry, turn 15. And that is actually on the pit entry. So Rocket also has taken an excursion to the gravel. Well then, what do we do now? Yeah, Steph saying Orchard David has probably timed it the most perfect. Rocket Queen retires from the session as he feels there's nothing else he can do as the rain starts to fall hard. I think Steph has a point here. I think Orchard David has timed it perfectly here. He was basically the first one to set a lap time, and look how much that's helped him as he's already down 18 seconds in that second sector as he's lost the back end. Can he keep it in check? No, he can't. Slick tyres in a wet track, you're never going to quite keep the car in check. But, well, with 6.5 minutes to go, we could see only one run here. As, well, actually, not quite, because we still got a deciding factor. Now, remember, last time out, the intermediates were around about a second slower than the Super Softs in the end. That's how much they warmed up. But you can see now, this is definitely intermediate territory. As we head towards the line here. Yeah, you can see DRS is deactivated, so it is time for intermediates. So if you're a driver that set a lap time on Super Softs, you might consider yourself a little bit lucky here. But I'm not sure about Heemkarl and Invader Zippo here. We'll have to see what lap times the guys set on the intermediate tyres. And AJ, DK and Rockatoni are going to try and find out for themselves. Are they going to make it a battle between just those three? For battle for 6th place now? I do wonder. This rain has, well, it's come out of nowhere for me, and it just started to fall really rapidly as well. As Invader Zippo here, you can see how much he's struggling, that he's now got a lap time at the moment in the 2 minutes, but I doubt he's going to finish this lap. And you can see how heavy the rain is now. Well, I don't know. Is this this could be heavy? It's a lot heavier than it was earlier, that's for sure. And I wonder now how long the intermediates can cope with these conditions. I'm not seeing a lot of standing water out there at the moment, so that's a good sign for the guys on the intermediates so far. But they've got a lot to do now. If they want to try and pull this out of the hat, then AJ might have a bit of a job on his hands here. He's not one to turn down a challenge, that's for sure. And now making his way through turn 12 and then through turn 13, making his way to turn 14. Steph in the chat there saying heavy rain, probably full wets in a few minutes. That's probably the right call on that one. But if the guys can get a lap in now on these intermediate tyres, they can at least call it a day. Geordie Davey ready on a set of intermediates. He's just watching, as we are, AJ and DK at the moment, as they're all on, both on intermediates, as is Rockatoni. Geordie Davey there is just waiting to see what lap time DK and AJ are setting here, as he has access to all of the sector times. I don't, so he'll be able to see what AJ and what DK and what times they're setting, whereas I don't. All I can see is the guy who goes through the sector. So it's a 26.1 from DK. What about with AJ? 26.1. And Rockatoni? 26.5. So at the moment, DK has that slight advantage. Makes his way towards turn 7 and 8 now. And you can see how much he's having to drop through the gears here well, it has been a really rain-affected qualifying session here. As DK makes his way towards turn 9. You can see how much he wants to just stamp on that throttle, but you just got to be a little bit careful here as we head all the way around now into turn 11. Through turn 12 now. Obviously, just can't throw the car in. Of course, all these dry setups now are really being asked and called into question now. So here comes DK onto the back straight. We've also got AJ coming around here now as well. So what sort of lap time can DK set? Is it going to be in the 140s? Now the thing with the intermediates are that you can just keep lapping on them. They don't wear that much, especially in these conditions now. DK heading towards the line. What lap time can he put down? It's a 146.5. Meanwhile, AJ coming towards the line. So it's a 144.8 and puts himself ahead of DK. Rocker Tony comes towards the line. It's a 146.6. So they might go for a couple more laps here, but Geordie Davey is out on track at the moment. You can see he's taking a trip to the gravel. Rocker Tony has retired from the session. He thinks he's done all he can, and well, for 8th place, I think he's absolutely well, he's just saving the car, I think there. He might be thinking the rain's too heavy at the moment. Well, AJ meanwhile is a 10th up. It's going to be a big ask to try and match or even beat Zippo's time at the moment, but that's not going to stop him from trying. He's going to have at least 2 attempts to try and beat it, or at least match it. Geordie Davey is out there. Maybe he's just trying to get some intermediate running at the moment. But the more laps you do on these intermediate times, you start to find that the more accustomed to the track they get, the more well, the better they get, basically, because you've got the track getting wetter, and the intermediates start to cope better. They stop overheating, and then they start to get into an optimal range. So the more laps you do on them, the better, in short. So DK then heading towards the last corner then. And yeah, you can see there he's trying to warm up those tyres. He knows now he's got one more chance. No, he hasn't. He dives into the pits then. So DK has called it a day. So AJ then and Geordie Davey are the only 2 drivers now out on track. AJ coming towards the line, 144.6. He improves by just under 0.2 of a second. We've got Geordie Davey also out on track as well. Now, I don't think he's going to beat... He might not beat that time. Ooh, it's going to be close on the line there to get himself a lap in. But he'll make his way towards the final corner now. And no, he comes into the pits then. So Geordie Davey calls it a day in qualifying. Meanwhile, AJ then 0.8 down through that first sector. And maybe he's just trying to get a bit of wet running in. But, well, the checker flag is going to fall now. And you can see the bits of debris there from Spark Bobster earlier on in the session. But I believe that's AJ. Yep, he has retired from the session. So, a man on pole position, and the man on pole position is Orchard David. So Orchard David takes pole position, Chelsea Boy in second, Geordie Davey third, Heemcarl in fourth, Zippo in fifth, AJ sixth, DK seventh, Rocket Tony eighth, Spark Bobster crashing out, and Rocket Queen setting no time. So we have a very interesting grid here. AJ's going to have to do a lot to come through the field there, but Orchard David on pole position. It'll be interesting to see how he handles that pressure. He only got his first race finish last time out. Now he's on pole position, so he's really got to make the most of this. AJ starting down the field as well. So how does AJ play it? He will have to start on the soft tyres depending on the track here. Let's just skip that. Looks like it looks dry to me. Definitely dry. So yeah, AJ will be starting on those soft tyres. Let's have a quick run through of the grid then, as we see the top 10 there. You can see all of those as it's mucking itself about a little bit, actually. I think that's it there. So White Samba in 11th there, Toon Patter 12th, Gort 13th, Captain Pants 14th, Plaster 15th, Ricky Fury 16th, Orchard Socks 17th, and Malachi was the latecomer. He's starting in 18th. There you can see the Gort starting on medium tyres, so that's an interesting call there. So we will have the race then. No formation lap here. There's that big black box that I'm just recording this race. So then, pressure's on. Watch out for this first corner. It's going to be tasty. So then, here come the lights. 5 red lights here in Malaysia. Round 15 is underway, and what are the starts like? Have a look at the Ferrari in the back there, getting a fantastic start off the line. Orchard David here is under pressure from Chelsea Boy as we head towards turn 1 here. Look at AJ. Here's a Renault trying to dive up the inside there. A little bit of contact made there as a little bit of debris flies everywhere. Lots of cars involved there. That looked a little bit dicey there. Not sure who that was trying to dive it up the inside there. Oh, it's Orchard Socks. Comes across the Gort then. Oh, that's contact. That's contact between Orchard Socks and White Samba, was it? Yes, it was. Orchard Socks, White Samba. Rocket Queen has taken an excursion to the gravel there as he tries to find a way past Orchard Socks. So Orchard Socks, my apologies, is down the field there. Ricky Fury also got caught up in an incident there. You can see he's got a little bit of front wing off as well. Rocket Queen as well. Let's have a look at the big winners and losers then. Malachi up 7 places, up into 11th place there as Zippo's losing time there. He's lost another position. The biggest loser at the moment is Rocket Queen. Here comes Malachi. He thought about a move down the inside. Now Zippo's trying to have a move down the inside of the Gort there. And the Gort on the medium tyres has moved up 4 positions there. Let's have a look further behind here because we've got a battle here going on. Toon Patter and... it looks to me like it's the Force India. Oh, sorry, it's Malachi. My apologies. As Plaster here and Captain Pants. Captain Pants running very wide there as we head through turn 14 now, running a little bit deep again as Spark Bobster. The Gort's run wide as well. What happened to the Gort? He seemed to just run wide there. Spark Bobster has lost a bit of time as well. There's so much action going on here. Here comes Plaster coming around the outside of the Gort. Can he try and make that move stick? We've got the hearts there of Captain Pants trying to have a move as well. Trying to be opportunistic here as Plaster and the Gort then coming down the main straight then. Let's have a look at what the tyres everybody's on as we've got someone coming into the pits. Captain Pants, is he going to try and make this 3 wide going into turn 1 here as the Gort tries to go down the inside. A little bit of contact there and I think they've just got away with that as Plaster there tried to turn in. There's Captain Pants right on the inside there. Couldn't quite turn in there, could Plaster, and he could lose a position here to Captain Pants, and he has done. But Plaster will try and launch this up the inside. Will he? No, he backs out of it. Hectic start at the moment. And we'll have a look to see where AJ's all the way down in 13th place. He's had to come in and make a stop then. So championship leader is in the pits then. Or at least had to make a stop. Captain Pants there. Oh, the Plaster was on the outside there. Captain Pants was not willing to give him any room there. And is currently in 10th place at the moment. A little bit hectic right now. But as you can see, it's been non-stop action from the word go. It's been absolutely incredible. Let's get some of that lap data up as well so you guys can see more clearly who we're riding on board with. The Gort then on those medium tyres has managed to find his way through, so he might be looking for a soft stint towards the end of the race then. So then, Orchard David currently leads the way from Chelsea Boy, Geordie Davy, DK, Heemcar, Rocketoni, Zippo, Malachi, Gort and Captain Pants. That's your top 10 so far. Meanwhile there, Toon Patter's found a way past Rocket Queen there. And Rocket Queen going onto a set of medium tyres. Now he's under pressure from White Samba. White Samba trying to go down the inside, going into turn 9. Has he got the move stuck? No, he hasn't. Oh, that's Toon Patter going wild there. And he's lost 2 positions, has he? Looks like it. White Samba's right on his inside there. And yes, he has lost 2 positions. And White Samba, did he make contact there with Rocket Queen in front of him? I think that's a bit of front wing off on the left-hand side, is it? Or is that just my eyes playing tricks on me? I'm not too sure. But yeah, you can see the understeer as, well, that is Toon Patter going down the inside of Rocket Queen. And there's White Samba coming out of nowhere. White Samba here could try and move up to P14 here. Coming towards turn 15 now. We've got yellow flags in sector 2 as that's Chelsea Boy. What's happened to Chelsea Boy? He's in the gravel there. Oh, he's made contact. He's made contact with Zippo. Oh my goodness. Well, Chelsea Boy there trying to rejoin the track, has collected Zippo with him. Well, Chelsea Boy, who was running in second place, now has a bit of front wing off on the right-hand side. Not entirely sure what happened there. Well, Orchard David, though, finds himself in the lead. Geordie David is in second place. And this could be one of those races where the leader and the table gets turned upside down. We've had so much drama from the start here. As we head through now, Captain Pants, that's Malachi running deep into turn 14. Now, that could be a chance for the Gort then to have a look coming towards the final turn. And we have a move here. This is the battle for third place. It's DK and Heemkarl then making their way down the straight then. And Heemkarl looks to have DRS here, so trying to make the move on DK. Comes back towards the racing line. DK here moves down to P4. Heemkarl then moves up onto that last step of the podium, but I doubt DK is too happy. He'll want that position back. Meanwhile then, battling here, Captain Pants and the Gort. The Gort trying to chase Malachi here. The Gort doing a good job on those medium tyres so far. He's avoided all of that drama at the moment. Meanwhile, Chelsea Boy, who started second in this race, visiting the pits there. AJ with a recovery drive at the moment. Chelsea Boy has a 5-second stop-go penalty, so the team have to wait before they can do anything with the car. Zippo in the pits as well. And will Chelsea Boy rejoin? No, he won't. Well, so Invader Zippo then rejoins on soft tyres. Chelsea Boy will rejoin on medium tyres. Meanwhile then, we're going to come on board with the battle with Malachi here. Malachi forming a little bit of a battle behind him. The Gort's right behind him. Captain Pants as well. And Spark Bobster is joining the fray as well. So that's looks like 5 cars involved in this battle right now. As the Gort there trying to make a move. Not quite. But that could open himself up to Captain Pants right behind him. And Malachi then making his way towards turn 14. As we can see here. Got a little bit of a battle on here. The Gort here. Obviously he will have less traction out of turn 14. But he will have DRS, which keeps him in range of Malachi here at the moment. We head now round the final corner. Oh, that's Captain Pants trying to make a move down the inside. And the Gort gave him room there. Captain Pants could find himself alongside here. We head now down towards turn 1. And, well, that is the Gort then. Still ahead of Captain Pants for now. Plaster and Spark Bobster being drawn into this battle now. Very opportunistic moves going on here as we ride on board with Plaster right now. Right on the tail of Captain Pants now. We head now towards turn 4. And, well, good battling going on here at the moment. Meanwhile, further up the field then, we've got Rockatoni and DK here trying to battle their way up. And is that Chelsea Boy involved in something else? Yes, it is. He's lost his front wing again. Well, what's happened there? Chelsea Boy has to revisit the pits for a second time then. DK, meanwhile, got past Rockatoni. Rockatoni trying to go up the inside. Oh, that was very close. But DK holds on to the position there. Rockatoni drops to 5th place. Meanwhile then, running on board now again with this battle with Malachi, the Gort, Captain Pants, Plaster and Spark Bobster. But you can see there the field's a little bit spread out now. A little bit, I say, as the Gort is still under pressure from Captain Pants here. As we head into turn 14, Captain Pants trying to go up the inside of turn 14. He's got that superior grip and he wants to get past the Gort here. But the Gort's doing a good job of defending right now on those medium tyres, which of course have much less grip, especially on a track like Malaysia. We head round now, yellow flags in sector 2, and that is Orchard Socks, who's found himself facing the wrong way, and he has Ricky Fury behind him now. He's must have lost that back end a little bit there, losing it once again, but keeping the car in check and out of the wall at least. Rockatoni now has a chance of trying to chase down DK now. AJ setting the fastest lap of the race. He's currently in P11 as DK trying to go defensive here, just trying to take the racing line there. Rockatoni, not a lot he can do when something like that happens. Malachi then, current gap to the Gort is 7/10 of a second. Oh, the Gort lost the back end there. Perfect opportunity for Captain Pants to go up the inside. Will Plaster have a go? No, he doesn't. He backs out of it. So Captain Pants then moves up into P7 as the Gort then lost that back end just slightly there. And yeah, it's lost him a position there. But Plaster and Spark Bobster right behind him now as we head towards turn 9. A lot of action still happening further behind. We've got Rocket Queen and White Samba going head to head here as, well, Samba gets ahead for now, ahead of Rocket Queen as we head up towards turn 4 then. Rocket Queen on a set of medium tyres as we have a look and see where all these battles are happening. Here we go then. Look at this field right here. We've got kind of two battles going on here. Spark Bobster has managed to find a way past Plaster, has he? Yes, he has. Spark Bobster then moves up into 9th place there and now can try and have a go at the Gort here. Look at this 5-car battle for 6th place here. Incredible stuff. They've all got DRS off each other, except of course from Malachi. We now head down towards turn 1. And this is a great camera angle to see it from. Spark Bobster right on the gearbox there of the Gort as the Ferrari tries to make his way through on those medium tyres. And it is a little bit of a train forming here, but Malachi's doing his best here to just keep his car on the track at the moment. Doing a good job in 6th place, just trying to defend it. And Spark Bobster there just tried to fill those mirrors of the Ferrari there with a little bit of yellow. And we have a look now to see Captain Pants here. Looks like he's going to try and have a go at Malachi here. He's really going to try and attack him if he can. And Spark Bobster and Plaster there running a little bit wide onto that little bit of grass there. But so far so good for this battling pack at the moment. They've kept it really clean. They've done a good job battling so far. And let's hope we can see battles like this throughout the field. Battle for 6th place as well. All on the line. Meanwhile, part 2 of Rocket Queen versus White Samba. Looks like Rocket Queen has won this so far, but he is on some medium tyres. And White Samba, is he going to try and go around the outside? No, he doesn't. And has to settle there for the time being. It looks like he's going to try and go around the outside, going into turn 5 again. Has to back out of it. And that's that done for now. Hinkar is into the pits then. Man in 3rd place comes into the pits now. And is this a change of strategy? Is this to go onto some medium tyres? Meanwhile then, Malachi is under serious pressure from Captain Pants now. We head down towards turn 1 and the Gort here, Spark Bobster and Hinkar. We've got Ricky Fury's out. We'll have a look at that in a second. Meanwhile, the Gort though is going to try and go down the outside of Captain Pants here. Does he try it? No, he doesn't. And staying single file for now then. Let's have a look at Ricky Fury. Oh, he's lost it completely there. Wow, that's a big off for him there. And that is between turn... Yeah, that's between turn 6 and turn 7 there. That's a very odd place to lose it, but he must have just lost it on the gravel there. We'll quickly switch back to this battle now because this is between the Gort and Spark Bobster now. Spark Bobster, will he have the inside line? No, he backs out of it there. Yellow flag in sector 2. They're coming towards the wreckage of Ricky Fury, so they won't be able to do any overtaking through here. Now that's been cleared. Green flags waving now. And Captain Pants runs a little bit wide and a little bit wide again. And the Gort here could see this as an opening. Will he try a move down the inside? No, he won't. It's just takes it easy for now. And you can see Spark Bobster here has dropped back as well. So Spark Bobster has dropped way back here. But look who this is drawing in. AJ is closing in on this battle, currently in P10. And if they keep battling like this, AJ might fancy himself a couple of positions here. Oh, Captain Pants, is that him off? Yes, it is. Captain Pants has lost a huge amount of time there. Plaster goes through. And heading now towards the final corner. Captain Pants here could find himself under pressure from Spark Bobster. Meanwhile then, Geordie Davey is into the pits. He's gone onto a set of medium tyres right now. And making his way down the pit lane now. Where will he rejoin, I wonder? Will he rejoin with this battle? Yeah, he's going to rejoin behind that battle. Is he going to rejoin in front of AJ? There's Geordie Davey. AJ's going to try and go around the outside. Oh, that was close. Geordie Davey there backed out of it. AJ was going to take the racing line, whatever happened. And Geordie Davey then rejoins in 10th place. But of course, AJ will probably have to stop again as he won't make it to the end on those super soft tyres for sure. Malachi, the Gort and Plaster then. This is turning into a little bit of a 3-car battle at the moment. As we see Captain Pants still lurking in the distance, ready to take advantage. As the Gort runs a little bit wide. As Spark Bobster is there, and also AJ, you could just about see in the distance there. We've got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3. As just have a see who it was. No, can't quite see who it was. But the Gort here. Oh, that's White Samba around. White Samba is in the wall there and has lost his entire front wing. It has not been a good day for the White Samba at all. And he'll just want to make it back to the pit lane and change that front wing. Meanwhile, Plaster still on the tail of the Gort right now. Coming around the penultimate corner. Still trying to put pressure under Malachi here. And look at AJ here, right on the tail of Spark Bobster. We've got the White Samba who's retired from the session. And it's just been a difficult day for him. Oh, AJ's lost it! In the wall he goes! Oh my goodness, what happened there? Well, AJ into the wall, and he has to come in now. And how he didn't crash into that wall and retire from it. That was a very scary moment for AJ, but he comes into the pits now once again, and this might be a move now to put him onto a set of medium tyres. Meanwhile, Rockatoni in the pits, he leaves on a set of soft tyres. Meanwhile then, this battle for the midfield is dropping away. The Gort then took full advantage and has moved up into third place. He's found a way past Malachi. Meanwhile, further down the field, that's Captain Pants and Spark Bobster battling for position as we head into turn 4 now. And Captain Pants says on the graphic there he moved up a position. Spark Bobster here putting a lot of pressure on Captain Pants here. And that's the White Samba leaving the session. So we have that's Geordie Davey catching this pack as well. Of course, he's already stopped. And we'll see now Geordie Davey on fresher tyres. What can he do to try and find his way past? Meanwhile, AJ gets ahead of Heemkarl on his quest to try and get this into a recovery drive. Meanwhile, Plaster has now found his way past Malachi. Malachi looks like his tyres have worn away now. And, well, Plaster here has found his way past. Malachi looks like, yeah, look at that. He's run too deep into the turn there. Malachi here looks like he's run his course on those tyres. Might have to pit in soon to try and get them replaced. Meanwhile then, Geordie Davey on the inside of Spark Bobster here as DK comes into the pits. Geordie Davey, is he going to try and go down the inside of Spark Bobster? Yes, he is. Can he get the move done? Fresh medium tyres, and he's found his way past Spark Bobster. Meanwhile, Malachi comes into the pits, and so Geordie Davey then will move up a host of positions then. As we make our way on to lap 11 then. Lots and lots of drama. So Plaster then is only 1.7 behind the Gort now, but will the Gort try and just get himself up that field a little bit more? DK then rejoining on a set of medium tyres. He's going to the end now. Malachi rejoining on a set of medium tyres. Captain Pants, Malachi on a set of soft tyres. That's an interesting call from Malachi. And Captain Pants here on a set of medium tyres. So then Orchard David still leads the way, as he's got a 24.6 second gap to the Gort. But of course remember that not only has the Gort been battling, but he will be on the soft tyres for his second stint. Oh, if he can keep the back end in check, that is. Scary moment for the Gort there. He just lost that back end on the exit of turn 9 there, and that's what I was talking about earlier on. And this has brought Plaster straight back into play here. Only 0.6 down on the Ferrari at the moment as we head into turn 14. On the exit of that corner there, just got to be very wary of traction now as the Gort. Now heading down the back straight towards turn 15. And the Gort here. I wonder how long Plaster is going to make those tyres last, I wonder. A little bit of pressure from him, just to let him know he's there. So whilst we've got a little bit of breathing space then, lap 12, Orchard David leads the way. The Gort is in second, Plaster third, Geordie Davey fourth, Spark Bobster's into the pits, he's in fifth, Rockatoni sixth, DK is in seventh, Malachi eighth, Captain Pants 9th, Invader Zippo 10th, AJ is in 11th, Heemkarl in 12th, Rocket Queen 13th, Orchard Sox 14th, Chelsea Boy 15th, and Toon Pat are currently running in 16th place. So Spark Bobster then on go a set of medium tyres. And a change of front wing as well. So away he goes, does he? Eventually he'll go. There he goes. And Malachi picks himself up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Meanwhile, we have a couple of battles out on track at the moment. We have Heemkarl on a set of super soft tyres closing in on Spark Bobster. We also have AJ on a set of soft tyres closing in on Zippo. both of those under a second, so they are closest battles on the track right now, so we'll try and keep up with them if we can, as well as keeping an eye on when Orchard David will pit. So at the moment he's coming towards, yeah, there we go, so Orchard David into the pits then, so that'll be his medium stint then. Now I wonder where he'll rejoin. We're going to stay on board with AJ at the moment, as he's just trying to go around the outside, and he has done. I don't think Zippo put up too much of a fight there to AJ, and AJ there coming through now into 9th place. So Orchard David then, in the pits he goes, so there's the Gort then, who is in 2nd place at the moment. Geordie Davey managed to find a way past Plaster, who was in the pits anyway. So Orchard David has rejoined there, and that's not what the Gort wanted to see, if I'm completely honest with you. Yellow flag sector 3, and that's Spark Bobster around doing donuts in the gravel there. And I think that is exactly what he's doing, just donuts in the gravel. How he got there, I don't know, but he rejoins now. And yeah, a lot of dirt on those tyres now. Drops to 13th place. Meanwhile then, Captain Pants, Malachi, Plaster all reeling each other back in again. Round 2, is it? I wonder. But anyway, the Gort here is 2.4 behind Orchard David. And Orchard David here has a 2.5 second lead over the Gort here. And Spark Bobster retires from the session. And he has hit the wall. Where has he hit the wall? Wow, that's a big hit, and I'm not quite sure how he did it. But then Spark Bobster then is out of this race. Captain Pants here, coming through turn 7 and turn 8, trying to find that way past Malachi. Will he try and move then? He's got to watch out for AJ as well, who's right behind him. And Captain Pants here has a couple of points under his belt there. Malachi runs deep there. Is that a chance for Captain Pants here? Trying to run side by side here. If I can get the right camera angle, and Captain Pants, yes he has. He's got past Malachi, and look at this now. The battle between Malachi and AJ. AJ trying to go up the inside, and Malachi running wide. AJ takes the position from him, and AJ then moves up into 8th place on this recovery drive. But I don't think Malachi is done with him just yet. Having a look at that standing camera there. As focus on the traction here down the straight. Captain Pants here going to be under a lot of pressure from AJ here. In the slipstream he goes, and with the DRS now, will AJ try and have a move? No, he won't. Backs out of it for now as we head into turn 1. And you can see here AJ on the soft tyres. Is he going to try and make those tyres go to the end of the race, I wonder? He's going to try and go around the outside of Captain Pants first, is he? Backs out of it for now. But look at this now. Captain Pants trying to defend, going up towards turn 4. AJ trying to find a way past. He just can't quite find it just yet. Championship leader in a little bit of a struggle right now, but he's got to remember that any points he scores today is at points up against Darren Sinclair. We've got yellow flags. Where have we got them? It's the Gort. He spun around. What happened to the Gort? Was it involving Geordie Davey? I don't know. And the Gort then looks like he's got a little bit of front wing damage. As well, I'm not quite sure what he's doing here, but the Gort then, is he going to try and recover? I do wonder. No, he has retired. Well, well, well. The Gort was running really well, but he's taken a trip to the gravel, and he has retired from this race and becomes our 4th person to retire. Meanwhile then, AJ did find a way past Captain Pants in all of that drama, and he moves himself up into 6th place. Chasing down now, he's got to try and chase down Plaster. So, again, white sky, white cursor to try and move around drivers. Not the best, got to be honest with you. Orchard David, though, currently still leads the way then. So, Geordie Davey is in 2nd. That promoted Rocketoni up into 3rd place. DK is in 4th, Plaster in 5th place, AJ in 6th, Captain Pants 7th, Malachi in 8th place, Zippo in 9th, Heemcarl in 10th place, although he is pitting, Rocket Queen 11th, Orchard Sox 12th, Chelsea Boy 13th, and Toon Pata will soon be 15th. Or 14th, I should say. He currently is 15th. So, we've got a couple of battles out on track at the moment. one that looks like it's developing is this one between Plaster and AJ. Captain Pants running it very wide then, coming through there. So let's have a look now with Plaster and AJ. Plaster here, will he try and hold on for 5th place? I'm wondering here if AJ can actually make it to the end on those soft tyres. It's going to be a huge ask for him, and he's got to be very patient with those tyres. And at a track like Malaysia, where tyre wear is very important, it's going to be a tough ask for AJ. He's going to go for it though. He's thinking, why not? And looks like he's got better traction coming out of turn 14 there, coming through now. And AJ, is he going to try around the outside? No, he switches back, goes for the inside line. And as he got that move done, he's up the inside of Plaster. And comes around turn 15 now. They are still side by side, but AJ will have the DRS here. And AJ moves up into 5th place for now. As Plaster here, will he try and move up the inside of AJ? No, he won't. Has to concede the position, really. Meanwhile, Orchard Sox and Rocket Queen locked in a battle right now. Orchard Sox, who crashed out heavily in qualifying. Is he going to try and make his move around the outside, coming into turn 15? I do wonder. Yellow flags in Sector 1, that's Toon Pata. We'll have to see what's going on with him in just a second. Orchard Sox in, trying to get his way past Rocket Queen, and it looks like he has done for now. And will Rocket Queen try and move up the inside? No, he won't. Let's have a look. Oh, that is Toon Pata straight into the wall. He looks like he's driven straight on there. So Toon Pata then is out of the race. Starting to drop like flies now. So we've lost 5 in this race so far. But we're still carrying on with the 13 we have. So Zippo here, right on the tail of Malachi. And we'll have a look here, coming through turn 11 now. Let's have a look and see what happened then. Toon Pata has left the session, so that is definitely him done for the day. Invader Zippo here. Oh, Malachi runs too deep. He's done a Sergio Perez of all those years ago. And Zippo then will find that move very easy to take as he moves then up into 8th place. So then, it looks like as we're into this sort of halfway stage of the stint, looks like it's just calmed down a little bit. At least for now, that's for sure. So, the closest battle right now is Invader Zippo trying to catch Captain Pants here. That gap is 1.7 and it is coming down. Well, as I say that, it goes back up again, but never mind. I will see here what this sort of entails, because this sort of now allows AJ to try and save his tyres a bit. See, now I'm wondering if he can get those tyres to the end of the race. That's going to be really interesting to see as we head through now into turn 7 and 8. So then, Orchard David still leading the way as my voice decides to give a little crack there. Still leading the way then, 6.7 ahead of Geordie Davey. Let's have a look at the stops everybody's made. So everybody has stopped once at least. AJ, of course, stopping twice with a couple of incidents going his way. And we shall see what he can do then. Chelsea boy that you can see there, currently in 13th place. And he has struggled today, that's for sure. But not over yet, of course. Still quite a way to go. In fact, 11 laps to be exact. Zippo then is closing on Captain Pants. It's 0.4 of a second now. We head towards turn 15. And we'll see now what he can do then, coming around the final corner. A little bit reluctant to get on the power there, but he has got time on his side here, Zippo. And he's got the tyre advantage as well. Just trying to side his way through the field. And Captain Pants just trying to keep his cool here. Trying to keep ahead for now. And Zippo here. Doing his best to try and put Captain Pants under a little bit of pressure here. We head up towards turn 4. So, Orchard David, just an update on the lead here. 14.1 now the gap is. As Zippo here change of direction is so quick there. I think it caught him out there. We head through turns 7 and 8 now. And he just can't seem to reel Captain Pants in at the moment. He is currently 7/10 behind at the moment. So it's proving a little bit tough for Zippo at the moment. He just needs to calm himself down, gain a little bit more composure, and try again. But here he is now. You can see how fast he's now closing in. Geordie Davey pits in. Well, that's interesting. Geordie Davey into the pits then. Oh, Captain Pants has done exactly the same thing as Malachi. And Captain Pants has lost it completely. As now Malachi goes through. And, well, Captain Pants here will rejoin then in 9th place after that incident. AJ, meanwhile, moves himself up into 4th place. Geordie Davey then, maybe he wasn't happy on those medium tyres. Or maybe he had a front wing change. I'm not entirely sure. Whatever the reason then, Geordie Davey is going to rejoin now in 6th place. Ahead of Invader Zippo, who has come into the pits. On go a set of super soft tyres for Zippo. So he couldn't make those super softs last to the end of the race then, which makes me worry about AJ quite a bit, actually. Unless, of course, he knows something we don't, including the weather, which is... actually, that could be exactly be it. Maybe AJ's expecting a little bit of rain, in which he can keep his tyres to the end of the race. At the moment, though, he's focusing all his efforts on DK right now. And coming down towards turn 9. Will he try and move? No, he won't. As DK here does his best to try and defend. Coming around turn 10 into turn 11 now. Can he find that way through, AJ? This would be to get him onto the podium. And he needs to just try and side his way through the field at the moment. And looks like at the moment he is struggling to do that a little bit now. This could be his chance though. Got much better exit than DK on the exit of turn 14 here. In the slipstream he goes. Trying to go around the outside of DK as they head towards turn 15. And you can just see them in the left-hand side. AJ turns in there and gets that move done. Much better traction. And AJ moves himself up into the podium. His next target then is Rockatoni, who is 5.4 up the road. Geordie Davey, meanwhile, is trying to close in on Plaster. Of course, he's stopped in and put on a set of new super soft tyres. Oh, sorry, soft tyres, I should say. As he rejoins now, trying to side his way back up through the field now. Maybe he wasn't confident that those medium tyres would make it to the end of the race. Maybe he had a strategy change, who knows. Captain Pants here, currently running in 8th place. As Invader Zippo, of course, stopped in for a new set of super soft tyres. So, 9 laps to go here in Malaysia. Orchard David currently leads the way. Rockatoni is in 2nd place. AJ in 3rd. DK 4th. Plaster is in 5th place. Geordie Davey 6th. Malachi 7th. Captain Pants is in 8th place. Invader Zippo in 9th. Rocket Queen in 10th. Heemcar in 11th. Orchard Sox in 12th. And Chelsea Boy running in 13th place. Well, Captain Pants here was closing in on Malachi, but he made a little mistake now, and he has to do all of that work all over again. And Geordie Davey is retired. Oh, Geordie Davey lost the camera for a minute there. Oh no, that is him. What happened there? That's on the entry into turn 9, and Geordie Davey here is out of the race. Well, we're now down to 12 runners in this race. And at the moment, if you can try and get that car towards the finish line with 8 laps to go, you might be in some serious chance of some points here. So then, we're looking at Rockatoni at the moment, who's 21.4 behind Orchard David. And Orchard David right now, only a couple of races ago, was struggling to finish races. He's now currently leading one. And around about 8 laps to go, 7 and a bit if you're pedantic. And you can see him throw the car in there into these final few corners. His teammate, Captain Pants, currently in 7th place at the moment, closing in on Malachi here. And Captain Pants has made a couple of mistakes this race, but considering how young he is out there. He's doing a really good job so far. Trying to chase down Malachi now for 6th place this will be. And you can see here he's reeling Malachi in on those medium tyres. Coming through to turn 7 and turn 8 now. And looking to try and find a way past here. Coming through into turn 9 and then through the kinker turn 10. And then through the right-hander of turn 11. You can see there, Captain Pants looks like he has a bit more grip than Malachi out there. Meanwhile, then AJ is into the pits to make that stop I thought he had to make. It looks like we'll go a set of super soft tyres. Meanwhile, then Captain Pants really trying to find a way through. And looks like he lost a little bit of time there. Meanwhile, AJ is in and on go another set of soft tyres. It looked like he was happy with the pace on them, so he's gone back out on them. Now, where will he rejoin? Meanwhile then, Captain Pants and Malachi battling over 6th place right now. As we make our way towards the line again, we get this lovely camera angle once again. Here comes Captain Pants here, trying to go down the inside. Certainly now side by side with Malachi. Heading into turn 1 now, has the inside line. Malachi will try the cutback, but he just can't quite make it through. And Captain Pants here moves up into 6th place now. And now he's just got to try and run away from Malachi now, as he'll make his way through now. Meanwhile, AJ rejoined in 5th place now. 8.9 behind Plaster. 7 laps to go. Is it doable? I don't know. You ask AJ. He seems to think so. And at the moment, after all the incidents he's been through, I think he'd take P5 at the end of the day. Heemcar here, closing in on Rocket Queen. Rocket Queen trying to go defensive as we head towards turn 4. Heemcar will try and take the racing line. Rocket Queen drifts back towards the racing line there. And look at that lack of traction that Rocket Queen has. Here comes Heemcar trying to go around the outside as they head through turn 5 and turn 6. As I try and look at the camera around. And Heemcar has got the move done here. And Rocket Queen just didn't have the grip to battle him. And Heemcar moves up into 9th place. Well, AJ here, 7 seconds back with now when he crosses the line, 6 laps to go. So Orchard David here, coming towards the end of Sector 2. Of course, they moved the sector line from before this corner to after it, because why not? Malachi is into the pits now. Now, did tyre wear have a factor to play in that move with Captain Pants then? Maybe he realises he's not going to make it to the end on them. So down the pit lane he goes. The Toro Rosso boys are ready for him. And on go a set of super soft tyres, it looks like. Away he goes again. And where will he rejoin? Where's Heemcar out on circuit? There he is, coming down the straight now. Rocket Queen is on that same straight. So where is he? There he is, coming down the straight here. Malachi, has he rejoined? Yes, he has, in 9th place, ahead of Rocket Queen, which is crucial for him, because Rocket Queen on those medium tyres here would have really halted his progress. So Malachi in P9 then, and his first target then will be Heemcar, with 5 laps to go then. This is going to be one interesting battle. We've got a couple of battles in the works here. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3. That looks like Captain Pants, and it is. It looks like he just lost the back end there. That's allowed Invader Zippo through there, up into 6th place. 15.9, which has gone to 16 seconds behind AJ. Speaking of which, AJ 3.6 now behind Plaster with 5 laps to go. Now 2.5 as he sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.0. Great lap time from him then. As we see Malachi here trying to close in on Heemcar. And well, look at this now as Malachi looks like he tries to just get a better exit out of the corner here. And that is crucial now as we head towards turn 15. Turn 15 all about getting that exit absolutely spot on here. As we head down the main straight now, DRS wide open. As we now head towards turn 1 once again. Malachi really looking to try and find a way past. What can he do, I wonder, as we head around now through turn 3 and then up the hill towards turn 4. Can he find that way past? Well, not for the moment. Anyway, Orchard Socks, though, looks like he's closing in on Rocket Queen at a rate of knots. And will he try and move now? Down the inside. He thinks about it for sure, but not quite. Meanwhile, we have a move here. Or we have a battle here, I should say. 2 battles to be looking at. Malachi and Himkar is one of them, but AJ and Plaster is another one. And coming down the field now, down this long straight now, as Orchard Socks has managed to find a way past Rocket Queen there. And Orchard Socks will go into the points then. Meanwhile, AJ for 4th place now, battling with Plaster, as Plaster now tries to defend from him. He's going to defend hard. He wants this 4th place, but he's on medium tyres. AJ is on brand new, fresh, soft tyres. He launches it down the inside. Can Plaster battle? Can he get the traction? Coming out of turn 4, now coming through turn 5. Does he have the grip to battle on? No, he doesn't. AJ then takes 4th place away from Plaster and looks now to try and make a charge now. There's about 4 laps to go. And 8 seconds is the next gap to DK. Is it doable? Well, I won't say anything. Anything can happen in Formula 1. Here comes Malachi now. 3 laps now to go as Orchard David crosses the line. Malachi still desperate to try and find a way past Team Carl at the moment. Just can't quite seem to do it right now. And definitely trying to find that way through. We'll have a look at Orchard David. Oh, that's Himkar running wide there, and Malachi has found his way through. Incredible. I was just about to go away from that battle just to see where Orchard David was, but well, no need now, because there we go. Malachi has found his way past Himkar. Himkar will not be happy with himself there, and he'll instantly try and find a way past. Will he try and find a way past into turn 9? No, he won't. Thought about it, just tried to fill those Toro Rosso mirrors there, but no dice. Malachi moves up into 8th place. Orchard David then is pretty much on the same bit of track as these guys. He's had phenomenal pace during the race. It's 27.7 seconds ahead of Rockatoni at the moment. And, well, a rain-affected qualifying session for sure. Orchard David here, leading the way. And, well, he has been pretty much untouchable all race. Orchard Socks, meanwhile, trying to chase down Malachi. And Malachi will need to try and defend from Orchard Socks here. 0.2 per second, that's all it is. That's all that gap is. And Orchard Socks, will he try and move on Malachi? No, he won't. Malachi, though, looks like he will try and defend as hard as he possibly can. But no dice for now then. Malachi doesn't look like he got the greatest exit coming out of turn 2 there. As they fly through turn 3 up towards turn 4 now. And Orchard Socks tucks back in and just tries and puts that little bit of pressure on Malachi. Oh, Orchard Socks loses the back end there. And yeah, he's lost the back end, lost a bit of time as well. So he's got to do all of that work all over again now. But it looks like he's making light work of it, as he's now brought the gap back down to 0.4 of a second. Orchard Socks here, really trying to make this battle work, really trying to see what he can do. Orchard David again on this same bit of track as them. So it's good to see that the leader isn't too far away, so I can cut away quickly if I need to. And Orchard Socks here. Oh, there's a little bit of rain there I saw. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Here comes Orchard Socks then. Side by side with Malachi now as they head towards the last corner, as it's going to start to rain. I know it is. Here they come now. Orchard Socks has got the inside line now. And Malachi doesn't do a lot to try and defend from it. And Orchard Socks here moves up into 9th place. His late charge will pretty much be over now unless Himkar makes a massive mistake. But looks like there might be rain falling on this last lap. And there is. Just as a last twist there, Orchard David starts the last lap of this race in the lead. And he's making his way around now. Rockatoni is in second place, DK in third, but look how much AJ is trying to push here to try and close in on DK, especially with the rain falling now. This is going to favour those who are on the medium tyres, so it's going to maybe favour Orchard David, but this will be an interesting battle then, DK versus AJ. And look at this now, the gap is now down to under a second, is it now? This is incredible pace from AJ. He doesn't have DRS, but this could be an interesting battle for third place here. So Orchard David now making his way through turn 8 there. But AJ here could try and move down the inside of DK now. This will be a fantastic recovery drive to get back onto the podium here. And look at this, right in the slipstream of DK right now. And DK putting up a fight here. He wants to hold on to this podium. And why wouldn't you say that? DK losing the back end, so does AJ in these treacherous conditions. And really just trying to hang on here. It's very difficult to do right now. That's all you want to do, is just try and make it to the end of the race. Meanwhile then, Orchard David is doing a little bit of a Nigel Mansell at the moment at Canada all those years ago. Celebrating along the back straight instead of the main straight. But he will come around the final corner as we see there DK and AJ. I really want to go to that battle, but we've got to stay on board with Orchard David as he makes his way very slowly towards the line then. Orchard David is going to win here in Malaysia. Well, AJ remarkably has found his way past DK and is on a step off the podium right now. Meanwhile then, Rockatoni is rounding that final corner. And if all goes to plan for him, if he can keep the car in check, Rockatoni here is going to come across the line to finish in second place here in Malaysia. And what a drive from this man AJ. In the wall probably twice, but he comes home now to finish in third place, with DK finishing in fourth place behind him. Plaster now heading towards the line. He's going to take a well-earned fifth place in this race, and well-deserved fifth place as well. Zippo now rounding the final corner, and that late charge, well, it served him well, and he's going to come home in sixth place there. Captain Pants here. Well, he's had a remarkable drive today. He spun around countless times, but you know what? That's a fantastic drive for him in the end. He will come home in P7 to take home valuable points for him and Haas. Himkal here rounding the final corner. He's going to come towards the line here, and he is going to finish in 8th place here as he crosses the line now. Orchard Sox comes home in 9th place. Malachi will finish in 10th. Your winner today here in Malaysia, it's Orchard David. Well then, here they come then, out onto the podium. Orchard David, he wasn't finishing races 2 races ago, and he's come to Malaysia, and he's absolutely won the day. So then, your official, unofficial results. Orchard David, finishes in first. Rockatoni is second. AJ finishes in third. DK fourth. Plaster fifth. Zippo sixth. Captain Pants seventh. Himkal eighth. Orchard Sox 9th. Malachi 10th. Chelsea Boy 11th. Rocket Queen 12th. A whole host of drivers there not finishing the race. Well, the rain came, but it came right on that last lap there. Everybody managed to cope in those conditions just fine. What a fantastic drive though from AJ, especially when he had to visit the pits twice there without a front wing. So I think that was a good drive from him, but you may have a different opinion. What we're going to try and do now is try and get a couple of drivers into this party, and we shall see if we can get them. I'll get their views anyway. So we shall. I should try that now, I should say. As you will see a big blue screen as I try and invite people to the party just to try and have a chat with them. And we'll see now how many people I can get into this party. Evening, Zippo. How are you? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Well, let's talk through qualifying and the race. Absolutely hammered it down with rain during Q3 there. What was going through your head then? Yeah, and you had a couple of drivers out there setting all those times. Did you think just to try and set a time on intermediates, or were you confident the track would dry out? Yeah, you happy with your race result today? Talk us through that. Excellent. You said you're happy with that result. And how much is that down to a new wheel that you've got? Oh, you weren't? Yeah. Yeah, now, obviously, with F1 2018 on the horizon, is this the last time we're racing at Malaysia? So, I think... Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. And in terms of Japan then, how confident are you? Always good to hear then, going towards it. So if you were to come away with some points, would you be happy with that? Well then, so we've got you not looking forward to Japan. I have to agree with you on that one. It's not my favourite track either. Yeah. Absolutely. Well then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for talking to us, Sippo. Look forward to Japan then. Yes, take care of yourself. So we'll see now if we can invite some other people to the party, of course. Will do my best to invite as many people as I can to the party, and we'll see if we can have a chat with all of them. I hope I can anyway. Let's have a look. Evening, who's this? Ah, lovely. Right. Okay, Spark. How was that race for you then?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good at all.
Talk us through it.
The first corner and the first lap, I kind of outbraked myself, and as I went to turn the corner, there was cars either side of me, so I slowed down a bit. They went past, and then I started to get past them, and then yeah, I kind of ballsed up the first lap, really. I had all right pace. I think I could have got some decent points, but then I went into the pits after I lost my wing. Changed onto the mediums. I was planning on going the whole race on the mediums, and then I had him Cole behind me, and I was trying to keep him behind me, and as I got to the S's, I lost the back end, hit the wall, my wing came off, so I thought I'd pit in, took the pit entry too hot, and I lost my wheel. So yeah, it wasn't... I just need to slow down on the pit entry, if I'm honest.
So, oh yeah, is that what happened then?
Yes, yeah, I kind of overshot the pit entry. I'm just not used to Malaysia, because it's, as you enter the pitch, obviously you're going around the corner as it is, and as you're going around the corner you've got to go to the right and try and take as much speed, but unfortunately I took too much speed and just hit the wall. But I'm just glad I didn't cause any accidents. That's the main thing.
Well, talk us through qualifying as well, because the rain started to come down and it just looked like it caught you out.
If I'm honest, I was the first one out, so I felt quite confident. I felt quite confident I was going to get a good lap, and I actually thought to myself I could get pole here, because I was the first one out. I was the first one on the dry tyres. It only just started raining, but I think it was the S's again, because if you take too much speed, you lose the back end, and if you don't lift off, you're just into the wall, and that's what happened to me. I instead of lifting off as I was going round, I thought, oh, I can catch this, and unfortunately I didn't catch it, and bam, I hit the wall, and that was me in P9. I reckon I could have got pole, because obviously the rain was falling and I was the first one out, and I was able to be the fastest driver at the time. But yeah, it just completely, because I was on the softs as well, so I reckon I could have gone quite far on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So looking towards the next race then, Japan, how does that look for you?
Well, last season it was my first point of the season at Japan, so I'm looking towards at least being P6, P5. I've got the pace. I've got the pace now, so I reckon I can be about P6, P5.
Sounds good.
If I'm not, it'll be a very disappointing race.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for talking to us, Spark, and we'll see you hopefully in Japan.
Yep, see you then.
Right. Plaster, you just have to bear with me just a second. So I'm going to invite some people to the party. I'm going to try and get the race winner into the party, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's have a look. see. Hello, David. Hello. Just going to chat to Plaster at the moment. We'll try and get Orchard's socks in the party as well, and then I'll go through you all. It's always this awkward silence when I try and invite everyone to the party. Always a bit tough, but yeah. Right. Okay, right. Plaster, let's hope you're being captured on all of the audio. And let's talk us through P5. Absolutely. You had a little bit of a battle with AJ there towards the end of the race. How desperate were you to just try and hang on to P4? Absolutely. Talk us through qualifying then. Obviously you had the fuel there and missing the pit lane, but did you think you could have done any better than what you did? Good stuff. So the next race, obviously Japan. How do you rate that track? What would be a good finish for you then? Great stuff. Is there anything else you wanted to say in terms of any instance you might have come across? No. Pretty quiet race then, was it? Oh, great stuff. Well, thanks for talking to us, Plaster, and good luck in Japan then. You too. Take care of yourself. Okay then. Orchard David, a race win. Now,
yes.
Bear in mind, 2 races ago you were struggling to finish races. You come here to Malaysia and walk all over the opposition. Talk us through the race.
Well, first, I think the race was won in qualifying, at the end of qualifying, because when I get out first, because I think it started to rain in qualifying when I was near the end of my lap, but the people behind me had rain for most of their lap, so I pretty much, if I had finished the lap, I would have had pole. So that's, and then yes, I think qualifying was, I don't know if I would have got pole if it wasn't for the rain. I don't think.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
Well, we saw Spark Bobster ahead of you in qualifying, completely lose it going through turn 5. Just how treacherous did it become out there that quickly?
Oh yeah. Well, I got out. I tried to get past everyone as quick as I could because I knew that it's going to rain and it's going to get bad. So then, it's just real hard. Like, you just have to keep it. Just keep it for the lap and the grand.
Ah, great stuff. And then when it came to the race, you just seemed like you just ran away with it.
Yeah, well, we started on the softs, and then from the start it was normal for the start. I think there was there was a carnage behind. I don't know what happened behind. And then I wasn't expecting to win that by that much of a margin. And then I started to build up a gap to second. And then he pitted, and then the lad in second after him was a good bit behind me. And I was thinking that at that time I knew that I was probably going to win if I kept it good. And then I don't know, people just started crashing really behind me. I wasn't sure what happened.
Yeah. Well, when that rain started to fall with about 2 laps to go, what was going through your head then?
Well, it started to fall for me near the end of lap 27, so I knew I only had one lap left, and I think the gap behind me was like 26, 27 seconds, so then I knew if I finished the lap, he would, but the person behind me wasn't going to catch me. And I was thinking of going into the pit at the end just to win in the pit lane. I thought, and I just thought no.
Yeah, I'd rather win it on track.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen me in the qualifying, but when I was going into the pit, I did a couple of donuts.
Oh no, I didn't see that actually. I wonder what those sector 2 and 3 flags might have been, but anyway, going on to Japan then. How are you feeling for then? Can you keep this momentum up?
Yeah, I think so, but there's more to do with luck today, but I think if Darren Sinclair's back next week, he might have something to say. But I think I'm aiming for top 4 finish. I think I won't be happy if I don't get that.
Yeah, great stuff. And just to sum it all up then, first win in SNR, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm very happy. At the start I was thinking of crashing out early to watch the Champions League final. But then the race just unfolded in front of me. And I thought, I'm gonna go for this. I nearly crashed a load of times. I was watching the game on my phone.
So you weren't even fully concentrating?
Yeah, I think that's what happened to a load of the other drivers as well. I think the goal was behind me, and I think when Bale scored a goal, I think he lost control. He pinned it into the wall. I don't want one of them said that. I think a load of them were watching the game and they all crashed.
Oh dear. Alright then, well it was great to talk to you, Orchard, and we'll see you in Japan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. So then, Orchard Socks. I believe this is your first race in SNR, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
And how did it go?
I bottled it at the start in the qualifying. Came out, felt like the track had no grip. I was going around the track at the start. I think I spun out and hit one of the barriers, lost front wing, went back in, went back out for another fast lap because I wanted to watch the Liverpool game, so I wanted to put a fast lap down. Then went flying around. I was doing a good lap anyway. Then I think it was one of the last corners, absolutely lost it, no grip, flying off into the barrier. That was my qualifying done.
Yeah, so I was actually riding on board with you for that incident, just to make you feel better.
That? Oh no.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can watch back on the stream later if you like.
Oh yeah, that'd be good, yeah.
But yeah, it seemed like you recovered well for the race then, finished in the points.
Oh yeah, actually at the start, I had a very good start. I think I went up to 11th, and then was coming out, had a good exit at turn 2, picking up the pace, and I got clipped from behind, spun and got front wing damage. So then I had to go into the pits. That's after the first lap, went back down to 17th or 18th. Then from there I regained back up to, I think it was 9th I finished at the end. So it was pretty good anyway.
Yeah, good stuff. In terms of the next race then, Japan, how are you feeling towards that?
It's kind of a tricky track, but I feel like I want to do better than what I did today, because I didn't prove anything to anyone, I don't think, what I'm capable of.
And do you think you can do that in Japan?
I feel like I would be much better in Japan and hopefully finish the qualifying this time.
Nice one. Well, great talking to you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah.
Catch those highlights of the Champions League now.
Yes.
And see you next week.
Alright, see you later.
Have a good evening. I'll see you.
Take care, guys. And that, for me, will wrap up this stream. So, as I've been asking all the drivers, the next race is at the Suzuka Circuit in Japan a week from now, and I do hope you can join us from them. Coverage will start from around about 20 to 8. We'll get into qualifying for around 7:45 to get underway once again. like we say, maybe Darren will be back next week, put up a fight with AJ. At the moment, though, it looks like he's pulling away now. As I sort of racked up the points there, I think AJ is leading by 42 points at the moment. So that's going to be a huge blow for Darren Sinclair. But, you know, with around 5 races to go, who knows what could happen. But until Suzuka, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I will see you next time.